Alright everyone, we are here in Winners Round 2 of our 200-pound deathmatch tournament, and in the blue color, this is Rev0lt. He's playing as Zeus. His opponent on the other side of the map, which is Steppe. By the way, the map is Steppe. This is Velite. And he's playing as Kronos. However, he's not red, he's teal. Excuse me about that. Deathmatch is a very interesting game mode where you get to build a lot early on as you advance through the ages in just 5 seconds. You start with some extra workers and around 18,000 of each resource, as well as 200 favors, so that's quite a bit of budget there for your initial spam. Now a Kronos player will be building a lot of manors and time shifting them around in order to boost the building speed overall, which is super nice. For Atlanteans, you're gonna get out a ton of palaces supposedly, but Rev0lt is not just gonna idle around and wait for that to happen. He's spammed down a lot of military academies just frontally, a little bit of crawl towards his TC, trying to secure that spot, and these freshly made units are gonna take on the Atlantean ones. Can they actually get a few of the citizens? That would be a big target, but it doesn't look like it, as they're getting distracted by some of these free myth units also trying to get some snipes off. Also got a very nice wall here. You also notice the god powers are starting off on cooldown rather, not off in cooldown, as you see in the other game modes. So yeah, deathmatch does recharge them very quickly for the initial cast, but then after that, they actually take way longer. You also get extra favor income in this game mode. And I think that's about all I got. Titans are turned off in this because there's a lot of destructive powers that can just take it out in one click, right? So that wouldn't be very fair. Wonder is, however, still on. So, you know, people get very rich in the long term. They can go for wonders. Rev0lt is trying to make a lot of palaces at once, which is great for overall villager efficiency, but because the new fortresses take so long to build, this is actually very, very slow right now. And meanwhile, Velite has been mythic. He went through Helios and he's got all these champion units. The Cairo Ballista are just absolutely wrecking. Hoplites are not gonna have a very good time, especially with just heavy and bronze upgrades, but okay, finally they are champions. And these Zeus ones are pretty fast, so they can supposedly chase down things, but oh my god, wait, the town center is destroyed already because the two Wardens of Tartarus were targeting it and there was no Medusa to take them down. The heroes weren't microed on them, so this is a very strong opener already for Velite. Rev0lt will have to find a way somehow to rebuild this settlement very quickly. He's pulling all the villagers, leaving just very little on the fortresses. The fortresses are right next, and they're obviously with Hera printing Myrmidons as the upgrades are done for free. That's a big aspect of deathmatch I have not yet mentioned. Meanwhile, Velite has time shifted forward some of these manors, so they empowered the creation of that town center and the side one as well, so he's done a really good job. Once you have your special upgrade for Kronos, you can time shift 3 buildings at once, and with those guys it's actually free. Restoration is used, but it's a very, very small army, so all it really does is keep Alar from going here. He's an absolute tank, but he will go down eventually. Well, the recent patches, he lost some health, so it's a little bit easier to do now as well. We got the fire siphons coming in. They're gonna have up to 24 range, so that is gonna be very nice. You could even build a little wall around them and still not get hit by buildings. Rev0lt does have his side TC done. He's working on the front one now. The auto-queued Myrmidons for free are definitely a big boon, but what I think he needs to do is have some cavalry out. Unfortunately, gold runs out very quickly because everything costs gold, so you really need those free town centers and get going. Rev0lt doesn't have any population space right now because he's losing to the mass range units, which are constantly fighting. A single destroyer can distract these guys and have the range units just constantly shooting them, right? So that's definitely tough to deal with. And meanwhile, the fire siphons are just tearing down the building, so these poor villagers, instead of reclaiming the town center, have to focus on that. I'm not sure how much longer Rev0lt can keep this going. This is, after all, full army, and the bigger the army is, the more the fights snowball in the favor of a player that has that kind of advantage. Like, you'll lose 1 unit and kill 5 in exchange, something like that. The Terma are also absolutely shredding through the Toxotes. A ton of the houses are being destroyed in the back. Rev0lt's maximum population cap is 110, but one nice thing going in his favor is that Velite actually doesn't have a lot of gold in the bank, but he's very swiftly putting 16 citizens onto gold. Actually, they don't fit around there anymore. But yeah, it's a lot of income. It will keep him afloat. He also doesn't have a lot of wood, but he's working on it. He's getting food as well. And maybe some marketing strategy will begin soon as well. The relics are largely speaking left alone. They also give you some gold trickle. I can't believe they still haven't fixed the UI where it just spasms out of control. But yeah, we've got some good ones. We got Wuhao here, Bow of Huangdi, which helps with movement speed there. By reducing it for the hit units. And we've got the Black Lotus for farming. Man, those fire siphons are just going nuts. Look at the damage dealt on some of these. Actually, some of these Cairo bullets is an absolute hero. Giga Chads as well. 1,000 damage, 1,200 damage, 1,500 damage on that Cairo ballista in the back. Turn that guy into a hero. Let him regenerate with Hyperion's tech right there. Heroic renewal. Of course, destroyers won't be doing much damage. But yeah, some of these heavy fire siphons are, oh my god, almost 10,000 damage! Holy! Okay, I'm not sure it will survive Lightning Storm. It will survive Lightning Storm. Where did we go? Down here. Vortex completely counters Lightning Storm! And this is why this God Power needs a cost, gamers, for the first recast. Because originally it doesn't have one. We're playing on the modded game here, and we've given it one. So next time it wouldn't be free to dodge at least, but yeah. On the live patch, that would cost you like, what, 25? Or is the second Vortex free as well? I forget. I think it's free. Guys, this was rather one-sided, right? The big attack of Velite on the main TC just completely crumbled Rev0lt there. He's outkilled the unit significantly, which should be normally a more Zeus-favored thing, but not this time. Not when you're down a TC, or 2 TCs in that case. Nicely done. Alright, you gamers, we are here with the second match of this series, and in the teal color we've got an ISIS player. This is Velite. Then on the other side of the map, in the blue color, this is Rev0lt playing as Hades, sticking with his Greek guns. That's gonna be an interesting one. I think Velite is trying to do a mercenary rush, but the age-ups won't be restoring their lifespan. However, with the villagers being this forward, they're gonna get caught. Oh my god, well, at the very least, Rev0lt has to pull them back. Because yeah, they are now, in this deathmatch patch, they're once again based on lifespan. So they don't just lose their health over time, they actually get to walk across the map and be here for just a few seconds. It's 60 seconds that they get, and everyone gets it, not just Hathor, so it's not required. But what Hathor does for you is help you build the buildings faster. So the Migdal Stronghold is already up. Velite can spam a little bit of barracks units, and the spearmen are already coming out. We should be seeing a little bit of Hippospist action, I think, from Rev0lt. He has to get back on his production, but he's so far away. He had to retreat the villagers all the way. So this is why I normally would recommend to just build a box against Egyptians in the main base, and you'd be so safe, so solid. Second Migdal Stronghold is coming up. Velite is producing a little bit of everything here with Egyptians. Osiris with mummy spam here for the Mythic Age. They are very powerful in terms of raw DPS. That is still 24.7, almost 25 DPS. But you gotta be careful with the heroes because these guys are quite fragile. The Greek heroes are gonna wreck them. Good news though is that they poison everything, right? And they turn them into minions, which further bolsters your army then. Yeah, those Greek heroes did a great job for sure. It's a lot of units from Velite, and I think Rev0lt just really needs that fortress. Where is the fortress? He's only now starting on it, stuck in the heroic age for 1,000,000 years. Because the villagers are very spread out, right? So eventually the fortresses get done, sure, but it will take him a long time to do that. We already got the third monument here for our ISIS gamer, and the fourth one is coming soon as well. The town centers are getting empowered. There's a bunch of idols, but Velite is on the job fixing it. He's on the job with the walling situation as well. Again, no relic pick-me-ups because this game is just a little bit hectic. We're gonna have snacks somewhere. They can be controlled in the deathmatch patch, so they're hunting down the villagers now. They do not have a negative bonus against the villagers. You have to respect it. There was no fortress again here in the front lines. Normally, you would just garrison into your fortress and you'd be fine. Pestilence is finally coming through, so that will shut down the production of our ISIS for a little bit. The temples can still pump, however, and there's some strongholds finishing around the corner. But there's already 4 catapults. There's already several siege towers pumping their ram into these buildings. Champion infantry, cavalry, archers are finally done. And the choice was, where's the temple? Temple dead! Oh my god, no! Revolt! Okay, anyway, Artemis was the pick because we got the poisoning Toxotes, so that's gonna be a very nice addition here. It will force out a bunch of slingers for sure. If you control those slingers well, they'll make short work of this. But meanwhile, there's also mass mummies. There's not gonna be an eclipse, obviously. Locust Swarm going through the Greek army, hurting them quite a lot. Oh, they're clumped. The Toxotes are eating it. Oh god. They're losing half their life for that. And the mummies should be able to finish them off and turn them all into minions if they get target microed there. How many mummies is that? This is nasty. It's 8 mummies. Imagine how good Eclipse would be right now. So definitely I prefer that path. Not that those snacks were bad, right? Like they definitely gave the villagers the business, but oh well. Anyways, look at Velite's army. 250 population because, well, ISIS gets more stuff from TC's more population. It would have been very nice to see one of these monuments more forward so that it would, you know, heal the army. And with Osiris, you obviously have 2 pharaohs, so you can double empower them and get double the healing. That is 2 hit points per second on your entire army, which is a pretty big deal. Chariots have done an excellent job picking off the heroes, though, and the mummies have just gone to town. The catapults tearing down the buildings. Rev0lt couldn't stay popped, and that's going to be one more quick victory, solid victory for Velite there. Very well done. ISIS OP? Question mark, question mark. She's back, I think. In the previous previous tournament, she didn't do so well, but here I could see it. Like the new, more powerful buildings, and just the Greek players building fortresses lower. I think there's some potential here. We want to thank our website patrons. This is by far the best way to support MetaPlays. Your contribution helps keep the project sustainable and allows us to produce more and better content. If you aren't yet a patron, check out our link in the description and get in touch to collect your perks. We will see you the next time.